Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma Toys here with another package that we have here. I've already half opened it to kind of see what it is. And I have there is a big story that goes with this. So let me just remove it first. It's quite well packaged. There's not, oh, it's quite a robust box. So I'll take this out. So what is this item? This is Ramen Toys The Marshall. So there is the front. Obviously I do have a little bit of an indent. Top you have the side. The artwork is really nice. I'm not mad. There's, let's say, nothing at the top of the back, and then when you open it, it's really hardy. Nice. I might try and take that when I like the packaging. Sometimes I remove some of it and have it as a backdrop. So yes, so Ramen Toys, there is a story to this. So people who have followed my channel from the very beginning, so almost the 2 years that I've been doing this, now they know that when I've spoken about Ramen Toys, I've not been too favourable in my assessment of their toys and stuff. Now there are reasons for that, and I want to kind of give you the whole background when it comes to Ramen Toys. So this is the little small company that produced this figure. So a few years ago, when Ramen Toys first came on the scene, their first toys ever were the Centurions figures, or the Commandos, I think, as they called them. Sort of figures, sort of thing, looked really cool. I was like big into Marvel Legends at this time. Didn't have any of the original Centurions, so this would have been a lovely placeholder for me. Only come across them by chance. Obviously I do like ramen noodles anyway, so I was like, oh, you know, they're Japanese, Chinese, and it matches in with me, and I started to follow them. Obviously they started showing pictures of the toys. I thought really good. Obviously being a new company, they were out to impress anyway, and then they came to the pre-orders. So I decided I wanted to jump on the pre-orders for this. When I went through the email system that you had to go through, I then realised it was the best part of £200 for the free figures. So this is like 60-70 quid per figure. I mean, this figure I think was about 50 or £60 anyway. Already I'm like a bit apprehensive. I mean, this is 2-3 years ago, I want to say. So it was a time where there was a lot of, you know, a lot of fraud, a lot of scams and stuff like this. This new company had come out, you know, paying almost £200 up front. The other thing that kind of sent alarm bells off of me was they were literally like, look, because we're a new company, this is what we're doing. It's going to take 6-8 months or whatever for us to produce it. And they wanted payment straight away via PayPal. So for me, knowing the rules and regulations of PayPal, if you buy anything, you have 6 months to claim it back. I was already like, I spent 200 quid. Who's to say that 6 months and 1 week go by and they just decide, right, do you know what, we're going to take everybody's money and bugger off. I'm not saying that's the case. Maybe it's a very sceptical opinion of mine, but that's where I was. 200 quid is a lot of money even in this day and age, or the best part of 200 quid. I think it was like 170, 180, and I think there wasn't even postage on top of that. Now I understand that obviously this, you know, we're a new company, you know, there are a lot of things I had to calculate, and that's fine, and I know they get some stick and stuff like this, but that was the reasons why I backed off the Commando set. I decided, no, I'm not going to pre-order it. There's too many factors for it to go wrong. I saw the models come up, some people liked them, some people didn't like them. They then changed the colours and stuff like this. Because of copyright, they couldn't do anything. So they kept going through this kind of channel. Now during this also there were times, so then they moved on to new models and stuff, and the new model they moved on to was the Silverhawks. Obviously Silverhawks was announced by Super 7 Toys, which finally gave you this one, or Quicksilver, and he's got a bit of blue tack on there, but that's not a paint thing. And then they did their own one, it was chrome, I think it was, compared to that. I have a big question mark on chrome because I know how much it flakes off and stuff for this. Anyway, it looked quite good, the figure come out, but I saw a lot of things from Ace, I think it is the main guy, speaking about, you know, there were times that the amount of glue that they used on the magnets to keep the bird on his arm wasn't right, and they advised you this is what you should do. Now for me, initially when I saw these, I was very much like, well, you're a toy company, why should people be doing modifications or having to glue stuff or having to tap stuff? Specifically when they're paying 3 times as much than they are paying for a Marvel Legends. Obviously, understanding now and hindsight of they are a smaller company, they don't have the costs, they don't have a lot of stuff to do. So there was that, you know, with this lot of money and stuff, and you know, as I say, 60, 70 quid a figure, like stuff's going wrong, you're having to fix it. I'm just like, really, in this day and age, should that be there? But I think these are just the trials and tribulations of small companies, and this is what they have to contend with. And it's funny that you contend with, because I contended with that, and this is from Super 7, he was like 50 quid, and it is the most figure that has the most loose head I've got out of any figure. And you know, I've got like, how loose that is just ridiculous. Still need to kind of fix it, but anyway, so those were my reservations for their figures and stuff like this, and why I never purchased. I never picked any up, and I've never had any in hand until we have the Marshall. So why did I decide to go with the Marshall? So the thing is, I love bravestarr. I love it as a kid, but I don't really like the figures. I'm not a fan of the figures. They kind of are big, bulky and stuff, and I don't think they're that great. So I've never wanted to pick them up. Obviously, space as well being a issue. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I am really tempted. Obviously, at this point, they're a few years into their production ones. The postage was added into the cost now. Yes, I would have paid like, I think I paid 6-7 months in advance, but I didn't care about that. Well, probably more than like 9-10 months actually, because I think I paid it near Christmas last year. I wanted this figure. This figure looked really nice. Yes, it was an own interpretation of bravestarr, but that is, you know, that is what I wanted to do. So I thought, well, this is a good time to invest it. So obviously we're taking it out. That's the background that the casing comes in, and this is the casing. There is a loose little bag with a bit of sellotape on it, so we will take it out. So that is, it says not for individual sale, website exclusive. Oh, so these are bonus items. So they're like, there's a necklace with the 4 symbols that the Marshall has. Let's open this up, and so yeah, so I think only if you bought through their website and not a sub-supplier, you get this gun. It's quite thin looking with a little bit of, is that rubber? Oh, it's a little bit elastic, so that's quite handy. That's quite nice. You get 2 crystals. I'm not quite sure what they're for. And there, this is the, then let's do it there. If it will focus, it's got 4 little symbols on it. So those are the bonus stuff I got. So that was, I mean, as I say, I think it was like 50 quid in total I got from the website. So I was really happy to pay that price, because it's far cheaper per person. So it's not a character that even anyone else has made besides the original toys. Sorry, this is very tight. Oh, because it's taped, that's why. That will teach me for not looking at what's done. So yeah, obviously if you are a young child, which I don't know how you have the money to buy this, please do be careful using the scissors. I mean, the knives or anything else that you want to cut open stuff with, I've damaged myself enough times to know. Oh, so some of the hands have flopped out. So when you get the figure, this is what it looks. I'm trying to do that so it doesn't tip out. So there is a bit of plastic sheeting that sits over the Marshall himself. No bands or that. I actually quite like not having bands. Obviously he has a little bit of plastic, so here we are. Head is really tight. Obviously this is the kind of cape cowl he has over him. I think this was kind of one of the exclusive things to make him a little bit different. Feels alright, has a butterfly joint at the elbow and the arm. Let's can I pop his head off? Yep, the head does pop off, and then that's, so we'll just do him without this so you can. Okay, so it pops on, not bad. So there he is, the Marshall in all his glory. Very similar to bravestarr back in the day, but a few changes. He has this piece and it looks like it's fixed left and right, so you can possibly, yep, you can remove this as well by doing the pegs. There you go, and then it comes off completely. I quite say I might try and have most accessories on the figure so I haven't got to store any. As I said, arm is a little stiff going in and out, but that's fine. That's what happens. It frees up. It hasn't broken or any paint like some of the other brands do. He obviously has a waist joint and his legs, so with the little knee pads over the joint, which is a bit straight, and then obviously has the kind of McFarlane toe ones up, obviously not licensed. So you get so you can go for full white, or you can go for almost a kind of RoboCop type blue version with a bar. I will throw some pictures up there, some of this stuff. So next pop out, he has a shield. So I think this sits on his, yeah. So if you check his left arm, you see there's a little lug there. And then this hopefully pops into it. Have to work a little bit. There you go. And then he has his kind of brave star symbol as a shield. As I say, 6 hands. So he has basically a holding a gun hand, just a standard grip hand for his axe, and then he has the kind of open hand. So he has the same either side. We get 2 visors, or helmets I should say. So the first one is just a standard hat. Now I remember seeing a video of this, so when the company did say it can be a little bit, you have to be very particular how you clamp it in or it doesn't stay. So I think it is like that, or maybe it's forward to back or back to forwards, and it does just kind of the shape of his head, I think, and this fits in. So that is the first one, and then he has the visor one, so we shall put that on him. So there he is. I'll take that off. Secondary head, so he's kind of a stern staring, or you have this one, it's kind of a little bit more happier. Let's get it into focus. And then the final 2 parts, which I think is an axe in a little sheath that should sit on his, yeah, so the top of each of his kind of brown legs, you can squeeze these balls into. Never heard that say, never said that too often. And his gun on, I mean, so they still right, they're quite, I would say they feel a little flimsy, but I think they do locate. So yeah, so that's how he is. So maybe let's put a hat on him. And there we have the Marshall. Now I must admit, as I say, for the figure and for what I've got, it is quite good. It's basically almost like a Marvel Legends figure with loads and loads of accessories with different heads and that. So the price point, I actually agree, is perfect. Say all the joint seems good. Oh, so the hat I know is an issue there. For comparison, obviously we have Super 7. So if I he's a little bit smaller than a Super 7 figure. And then we have the original X-Men's Cyclops, which is more or less, he's very slightly taller than him. But yeah, overall, I am actually really impressed with this. As I say, I'm going to have a little play with him and adjust his stuff like that. I think some of his belts sometimes are there. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to necessarily pose him, but he is a great little figure and a great addition to the series. And I say, I must admit, actually, hands down, the packaging, I think it sorry, it took like a week to get here. The packaging's really good, easier to get out, easy to assemble stuff and that. And with the price point and everything, I must admit, hands down, you know, everything I've said about Ramen toys and my fears and stuff like that, none of this has kind of come through in this figure. This figure is absolutely great, a lovely addition. So just to cut in here, there was a few things I missed. So on the heads, I do apologise, this Ramen toys, you'll see there's a little joint, and it means the ponytail can be moved. love this, absolutely great addition. The hands are quite soft, so it's really easy to get my hands. Very much softer than Marvel Legends. The only thing I am finding is these brown parts that when you stick them on, that they are popping out quite easily. Or if it wants to focus, but yeah, apart from that, when I'm assessing him, you know, put most of him on and change his head. I've just got to put his hat. Apart from that, I mean, these brown things that are clipping off, I can't really find any other faults with it. Sorry to interject there. Lovely addition to the collection. I know they are trying to design a 30-30. I look forward to having that. I don't think it transforms, which is a shame, but there we go. That has been my review of Ramen Toys, the Marshall. Are you a fan of Ramen Toys? Do you have any of the other figures? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma Toys, and I shall see you in the next one.